we are recording a second time. So, I will do this quick before he goes off again. Welcome to Roundtable 58. This is our weekly event, same time every Tuesday, where we're going to recap the previous week, some of our plans for the coming week, what we've been up to, and after we've done, we'll endeavour to answer any questions you may have. This whole event was going to be on YouTube shortly after, so people can re-listen or catch up if you couldn't attend or have to go halfway. Links to this video will be in general and news channels for your convenience. Thank you for joining, and let's crack on. General chat is being recorded. Say hi, you know the drill now. And weekly maintenance will be, as usual, 9 AM tomorrow.
I've got to find a new gift, damn it. Give me time.
Pause for gifts.
There we go. That'll do.
Quick only uses that one because he knows it's my favourite. He stole it.
Where's mine?
Oh, that's a total fail. Come on. Get your gift found. Let's get it done.
There we go.
Way. Okay, so first order of the day. We're going to talk about supporter packs. The end of the month is near, so this will be the first month our new GameBridge system has to deal with renewals. So I just want to pre-warn everybody, everything should be fine, but please be patient if it isn't. It's all under control. What is GameBridge? What is GameBridge, you ask? Well, it's WNG's custom in-house written system that allows instant delivery of perks and items to a huge range of games that run on multiplayer hosted dedicated servers. Watch this space if you like tech toys or new technology, because we're developing things. It's all good. Now for the fun bit. The Steam Summer Sale is currently running, so don't forget to grab any bargains. In particular, of course, there are Ark, 7 Days, and Rust, which we already host. But why, Narnie? Why are you telling us all this? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Rust has got 50% off at the moment. Ark is 67% off, and 7 Days to Die is 70% off. So those are three main games we host.
Yep. So why are we banging on about the summer sale? So here's the cool bit. We've got a new promotion on as of today. What today? Tell us more. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm calling it personally WNG 2 for Tuesday. And what is this? So from today, you will have a 3-day grace period. Anyone who purchases before the 1st of July doesn't have to pay till the 1st.
Before the 1st?
Yes, before the 1st of July, doesn't have to pay till the 1st. You will get double points. Yes, double points. One batch you'll get on purchase. The second you will get on renewal, which will be on the 1st. Now, yes, we can see flaws in this. If you choose to abuse the system, we will abuse you right back, and your points will go so far negative, you won't be positive for the next few years. That said, amazing offer. So lock in the supporter packs at the old price as long as you stay subscribed. After the first supporter packs increase, I'll get my words right in a minute. The packs after the first are going to increase in price very, very slightly. It's literally £1 on top of, or equivalent on top of the original prices we had. This is to allow for the huge amounts of perks and content they now provide, because they're going to be covering every single game we run, as well as supporter access to our supporter servers. That's right. WNG members, members only servers, and only supporters will be able to use those servers. You get access to perks on all game servers, access to the private supporter servers we've just mentioned. We have plans to start up supporter only, we're calling them pop-up servers, right?
Pop-up or guest servers for random games that people are interested in.
This will include Ark, yes. So, plans to start up some supporter servers. We've got Project Zomboid we could do, with things like Empyrean, Galactic Survival, Conan, people have been requesting, Space Engineers. I've heard Minecraft mentioned more than once by more than one person. Basically, if it has a Deddy server, we can host it. So, you know, we'll discuss that more as they come. So yeah, Steam Summer Sale, lots of games on sale. Zomboid, Empyrean, Conan, Space Engineers, all that sort of stuff. Time to grab some stuff at really cheap prices.
Just to be kind of like totally clear about that, Anybody that is currently a supporter,
Yep.
your price will not go up. As long as you keep that supporter package, your price will stay the same, which will be £1 or $1 less than what everybody else will be paying.
Yeah.
Your perks will go across all of the games that we host. So this is why we're running the promotion. People who buy the current supporter packs that we offer on renewal on the 1st will get supporter perks on all of our game servers and access to our guest and pop-up servers.
Mm-hmm.
People who buy after the 1st will pay an extra £1 or an extra $1 more, and they will get the same perks. But that's it. So the promotion that we're running is you buy one of the old packs now,
Mm-hmm.
you don't pay until the 1st, you get points now, and you get points on the 1st as well. So now is a good time to pick up a supporter pack.
It's not kind of a free month, it's a free few days, but you'll get double points.
Yeah.
Those are people who subscribe to the old pack now before the new ones come in.
So I will demonstrate in chat. Bear with me. These are the old ones. The link is in chat. Those are locked in at $3.99, $7.99, and $11.99 GBP. And US dollars, it's $5.50, $10.50, and $15.50. As of the 1st, they will not be available, but to anyone that is subscribed to them, you will get to keep them at that price for as long as you stay subscribed. Anyone that subscribes to one of those three in the next 2 days will get to use them for however long they keep them. Plus, they won't pay anything till the 1st, so they get a free bunch of points immediately on sign up.
Cool beans.
Yeah, it is cool. And what I'm really looking forward to is these pop-up servers that we're going to run, or guest servers. We'll spin them up. They will be vanilla iterations of the games, so we won't go into heavily modding them or anything like that. You'll just get the experience that you would get out of the box. And we have a whole host of options available to us. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that. The idea behind them is, the 3 games we have, or the 3 games we will have, are great: Ark, Rust, and 7 Days. But you occasionally need a break from them. So if you want to play something else, yeah, you can play it while staying in touch with everybody on WNG. If they become popular, yes, there's no reason not to make them permanent, and then add mods, add customizations, and put in perks and layer on stuff on top of that. No reason not to do that, and we wouldn't dream of doing it any other way. We've already got a couple of games lined up ready to go. So that's why we've been exceptionally busy over the last few days, making sure everything is going to run properly for the end of the month. It's quite a large task.
I would definitely play a bit of Minecraft. I love Minecraft. Fun fact there, we used to actually run Minecraft servers. The problem being with them being open to the public is they get abused really heavily.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the thing. It would be a vanilla Minecraft server. We wouldn't have it modded up to the eyeballs. The idea behind these servers is there's something fun to play on, something different, something cool to do. But at the same time, we don't have the manpower at the moment to fully manage them in terms of mods, customizations, and stuff like that. So it has to be fairly low maintenance for us to make this work. Obviously, if it goes mad and we get hundreds of people on there, then yeah, it can become a thing and we can start dedicating more time towards it. But there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah.
To progress from being a vanilla server to being something like we do for 7 Days Arc or what we have planned for Rust. But yeah, the idea behind the supporter packs running across all games is the feedback we got is it was just confusing and irritating. People wanted to play different games at different times, and they didn't want to keep flipping between supporter packs. So having one supporter pack, and we're going to call them tier 1, 2, and 3, that covers all the games that we offer, make life so much easier, and it would mean people wouldn't have to keep chopping and changing, and it's just a lot easier to manage. So
Yeah.
we'll take some more questions on that at the end. But yeah, let's crack on.
Yeah, cool. So, art news first this week. We have a fair bit to go through. So, just things that have been added last week and a catch up then. So, treasure chests containing Mastercraft to Ascendant Saddle blueprint chances. Various items and fed shards are now deployed on all maps. That's all complete. There will be 5 chests up at one time across 10 different spawn locations on all maps, with the exception of Fjordur, which we'll get to in a minute. So there'll be 5 chests, random locations. None of them will be caves. None of them will be underwater. They're all on the overland. They're all fairly easy to get and see, just hidden away a little bit. So you find those. You get some really cool blueprints from those. Fjordur, with it being very, very popular, has 30 possible locations with 15 chests available all at once. They're on 45-minute respawn timers, and obviously there's double the amount of spawners than there is the amount of chests, so they will move around a little bit, is the idea there. So if you find them, mark their locations down. I would keep them to yourself because the ones on Fjordur are getting camped now, so the ones that are known about anyway. So if you find them, note them down. They look like little brown pirate treasure chests. And if anyone was on Lost, the ones that were in the caves, they were exactly the same as those. Yep, so there you go. Really cool blueprints coming out.
With that note, that means that the cave spawners on Lost are no longer there.
Yes, that was my next note, is the Lost Island ones have been removed. The creatures that were in there have been removed. The radiation zones that were in there have been removed. So it brings things a little bit better for people to hop on and go around and find them rather than being camped into the corner of a cave all day. You can just come across them as you fly around. What else have we got? So, Apex Arenas.
Just
Carry on.
sorry,
Yeah, go for it.
just to answer Nug's question. Stats on loot fall into different ranges. So Mastercraft overlaps with Apprentice, and that overlaps with Ascendant. Ascendant overlaps with Mastercraft.
Yep.
What you actually want is a low quality item with high stats. Item quality only covers the amount of resources needed to build the item. So you want low quality items with high stats. That's a good thing for you. Getting an Ascendant item with shitty stats on it is bad. Yes, 150 Mastercraft is much better than 150 Ascendant. You hit the nail on the head. Hell of a lot cheaper to maintain.
Yeah, cheaper to make, cheaper to repair. Same amount of armor. The only thing that matters in a saddle is armor. There's no durability on a saddle. But that's what you were farming metal for. Okay.
Interesting question there. And I will say no. If you have been playing on Fjordur over the last few days, you may have noticed that it is starting to get a little bit laggy when the player count goes above 40 or 35 to 40. The reason for that is lots of large structures and lots of dinos out at once. So, not a chance. The only time the structure limit will be increased is when the average population drops below 15. We have done extensive testing on all of our servers, And once you get past 15 with a structure limit above about 5 to 6K, then you start hitting performance issues.
Totally.
So we know what we're doing on this one.
Many islands worth of testing.
Yeah. And it's funny. We launched the map. People saying, "I need more dinos out. I need more structures. I need more this. Can you raise the limits on that?" And unfortunately, the answer at every turn has been no, because of server performance. And now you can all see why.
Good propagator advertisement there.
Yeah, that's cool. The biggest benefit that the biggest thing people can do to help server performance is put dinos away. And we'll get onto that in a minute. So I don't want to sidetrack because we have notes and we're going to work through them. And then we'll go to the questions at the end.
Actually, that's quite a good time to chip in on that. So go ahead. That is not actually
sure?
Yeah, that's not a bad time to chip in and address that, actually. Dinosaurs, and that's good. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So the bit that I was planning on talking about was primarily hitching posts. Was that what you had in mind?
Yes, hitching posts, maybe even a little bit on the propagator, and what I wanted to get. I was having a conversation on Discord earlier, and we were talking about dino limits and dinos out and the state of banding and stuff like that on the server. And yes, new players are going to have to breed dinosaurs. It's just part of the game. It has to happen. What we're talking with here and what I wanted to sort of get into as well was when you get to the level of the higher level breeders who are constantly churning out stuff looking for stats, we have different things, and this is what we're talking about as managing dinos and get your dinosaurs away, is the people who are mass breeding, and there are better ways of doing that.
Much.
Which ties in totally with the hitching posts and why people are using those as well. So yeah, this is a great time to do that. Go ahead.
Okay. So by the time, or in theory, by the time you get to the point where you're breeding dinos for mutations and you're breeding up your lines so that you can have your best possible tames ready to take on the alpha bosses and the final boss challenge on alpha, you should be well within, or you should be level wise quite easily able to afford a tool we have, the propagator. And what the propagator allows you to do is breed all your dinos inside one structure without having them out on the map. It does cost points to run, but the point, or Federation shards to run, that's the fuel for it. But by that point, you should have more than enough shards to be able to run at least 3 or 4 propagators pretty much all the time. Is the propagator a paid exclusive? No, it's level 110 engram. You unlock it and you load it up with dinos and it breeds stuff.
It allows you to do cool stuff as well, like forcing mutations and switching sexes on dinosaurs and things like that. So you can produce massive armies of baby dinosaurs, selecting the stats you want to breed into, and just bin the rest without ever having to have a dinosaur open on the map, apart from the stuff you ride around on and use every day.
So the idea is you I think if you put, what was it? What was the number that I came up with? I think it was 68 dinos into a propagator. You have a 98% chance of getting the mutation that you want. And then you bin all the rest, and then you just breed up the one with the correct mutation and keep going. We've also got sol terminals and hatcheries and things like that, and incubators, all for putting your eggs and tames in. Which all really help. It's just a matter of you only have out the stuff that you're actively working with. I flew over a number of bases today that just had like 50, 60 dinos just all out around the base. And some of them were breeding, some of them weren't breeding, but most of the stuff that was out wasn't actually doing anything.
Yeah. And the point that ties into this is we get a lot of people saying, oh my God, the lag, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. It's down to players to a certain extent to police what goes on the server. When I say police, I don't mean you interfere with other people, but I mean by putting your dinosaurs away, by making sure you've only got out what you either want to, some stuff is great. Shinies are amazing. Some people have some really rare dinos. That's all cool. But it's up to players to put the dinosaurs away, treat the server with a little bit of respect, the players who are playing next to them with a little bit of respect, and it will help. But we need everybody on board to actually get on board and start to do it. The three biggest things that cause the banding you're seeing is the amount of players, the amount of dinosaurs, and the amount of big bases. So the more we can do as a community to sort that out and to help, everything runs much, much smoother.
Most definitely.
The other option we've got is we start setting boundaries for all of this stuff, and nobody is going to like that. It's all going to be negative. We don't want to do that, but if the community can come together as a whole and start to sort of just think about what goes on, then that will help immensely.
Totally. With that said, though, one of the measures that we will need to take, I think, is I didn't realize this, but I thought only the tech hitching post kept things out of stasis based on the descriptions on the items. But it has recently come to my attention that the standard wooden hitching post, which anyone has access to, keeps dinos out of stasis that are hitched to it. With that in mind, cannot have 20 or 30 bases with 150 dinos out attached to a hitching post out of stasis. The server will not support that. Kuro, I was working on, I've always assumed that the wooden one didn't do it and never really used them. But then I dug into it a little bit more based on some feedback that I was getting and found out that it did. I was looking at the descriptions, and from what I remember, only the tech one said it actually kept things out of stasis and the wooden one didn't. So with that in mind, we're not going to remove the hitching post engram. I can actually limit the number of dinos you can connect to a hitching post and the number of hitching posts you can have out in your base. So I don't want to destroy people's ability to raise gachas unattended. You want to grow your baby gacha. You want to keep it out of stasis because otherwise they don't feed properly. So that's cool. So what I'm going to do with that is the number that I proposed in our GM chat earlier was 4 hitching posts with 4 attached dinos each.
That is so not true, Nugget. I hatched a gacha perfectly the other day in a May wing with rare mushrooms. Just left it there overnight. It was fine. May wings are the way to go for gachas, 100%. Stick it in the little pouch thing, set it to squirt mode, and fill it with mushrooms.
If you want to speed up your egg hatching, you can manually manage the eggs in an incubator or use the S+ incubator to optimize the temperature and get a hatching boost.
No update yet on the bat elixir bug. Still waiting for that. It is hella annoying, but it will come.
If we were running a vanilla server, yes, we could have 70 players on at one time with thousands of bases. But what you have to bear in mind is the mods we have and the features that are available bring that limit down. We've been running Arc servers for many years, and we have a vague idea of what we're doing, I think.
Small.
It wouldn't be the same. No. See, Bob, you're asking again, plans to raise platform saddle limits. Why would we want to do that? We can raise platform limits on the other maps, but not on Fjordur at the moment.
It's purely Fjordur at the moment because Fjordur is massively overloaded and near cap most nights because it's new. It will settle, and when the transfer opens, players will disperse around and it will be absolutely smooth as silk.
So anyway, there's a few little changes that we can make there that will improve things, but what we're really asking is players are just a bit considerate and don't leave hundreds of dinos out in their base. Before we even launched the server, we proposed limits that we knew would work for a large population, but they were shot down by the community because they didn't want to be restricted. They wanted to have the flexibility to do things, but then kind of put them away afterwards and stuff like that. So we're still on that page, but if it does continue like that, then we will strap on some more severe dino limits. It's
Female wyverns making milk. You mean tamed wyverns, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So the issue with that is, with our rates, most wyverns over, say, I think it's 160, you can literally just throw to the floor and never feed them once, and they will grow perfectly fine, and you'll have a nice wyvern to be able to fly around on. Milk is kind of the fundamental thing for raising any wyverns below that level. Not that many players do because they know they can just get a high level one and throw it out. And the amount of milk you need is probably 1 or 2 at the most. There has to be 185 and over then. That's not true actually, because I threw a 165 out the other night and I raised it perfectly. So that's in no way is that 185 true. I had a fire wyvern I threw out myself on Fjordur the other night and it raised perfectly. No milk.
Depends on its stats as well.
But milk is really fairly easy to get. And if it just came out of nowhere, it would just render wyverns laughably easy. There's got to be some challenge in it. It's a survival game, right? Exactly. There are multiple ways to choose that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly move on just for time's sake. Speaking of performance and things like that, the next thing on our list is directly that. Apex Arena bubbles. They're a pain in the backside. They look awful, and they definitely do reduce people's FPS when they fly over them. So you'll notice now that the Apex Arena bubbles have been removed. They don't spawn anymore. You'll still see the creature in the middle. And we have ringed the arenas with beautiful glowing orange crystals. They are slightly larger than the bubble. So pre-warning, you can't leave things in the bubble. When that bubble drops, invisible or not, it just destroys everything in the area, which is why there are no build zones there. So now you will see these rings of crystals around the maps, and those are at the same spots as the apexes spawn. Be aware that the crystals are slightly outside the bubble range. So you haven't got just up to the crystals, it's actually slightly before that where the boss will reset to the middle. But no bubbles means better FPS, people having a better time, and I think it just looks really, really cool. Inspired by the Fjordur boss summoning terminals, where they do similar things with, they're kind of like pillars, aren't they? Like a Stonehenge type structure.
Yeah.
So that I think will help a little bit as well. But again, players do your bit as well. Clean the maps up, everything will run a hell of a lot better. More news then. Arc Homes. Do you want to tell us a bit about Arc Homes? And the cool features.
We have a little extra perk for the supporters of the server coming in. and it will replace our current TP command. So at the moment, /TP takes you to the trading post or a city terminal so that you can leave the map. The next iteration of that, we will be able to have multiple locations on a map that you can teleport to. So there'll be the trading post, there'll be the arena, and there'll be the event bosses to start with. You'll be able to list all those teleports in game, and you'll be able to TP to them. So you can go TP arena, and off you go to the arena, or TP Apex boss or world boss, and off you go to the world boss, or TP trade, and you go to the trading post. Really useful. Now, to balance this with the actual game itself, when you initiate a teleport, it will take 6 seconds to cast. During that time, you will not be able to move, and it will be interrupted if you get hit by anything. The second piece of functionality that will be supporter-only functionality. Yeah, exactly that, Dravros. Second piece of functionality for supporters only. Good question. I haven't tried. Will be the facility to set a home point. So home points can be put down anywhere you have a base set up, and the base has got to be 50 structures or more. So quite a significant piece of development. And you can set your home point and you can teleport back to your home point exactly like that. And you have the same cooldown, and it costs you 25 shards or points to teleport home. Same as a corpse recovery for an alpha supporter. You'll be able to list all your home points in game, doing like home list, and you list all the teleport points, doing list TPs or whatever, and it'll tell you what you've got available to you in game. To begin with, you can move your homes as often as you want, but as I said, it's got to be near a base, so there's no way you can set up a home point in an arena or a place where you haven't built. Yep, won't work, because you can't set a home point where you haven't got a base.
And the cool stuff about this is if you're a supporter and you're lower level or you don't have tech tier stuff, this is teleportation back to base for free, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Well, a few points.
This is cool stuff. I will also say, if people are then building 50 plus structure limits just to get around the map in silly locations like metal deposits, those will be dealt with.
Jesus, we have no control over what the in-game server browser says and does. So I can't really help you there. We have players that can't get onto the map because the in-game server browser says we have 75 players online. We don't. So it's probably related to a region as well. Remember, we are a UK server. A lot of our players are playing all around the world. So I do know over the last week there has been a massive denial of service attacks all across the UK and Europe, and I don't know about America. One of the main clients I work for was taken offline last week because of it. A whole data center was taken out in London. So there could be any number of reasons why things are not behaving as expected to be. The internet is a funny thing.
Indeed.
But anyway, back to Arc Homes, and I don't want to get sidetracked. Yes, you will be able to set homes like that, and yes, you'll be able to teleport to them. 6-second cooldown, 6-second cast time, sorry, and it can be interrupted by taking damage, so no teleporting out of a woven trench or finding out you're in a situation where you think you're going to die and you're getting beaten on. You won't be able to get away from it, I'm afraid, but then you do have corpse recovery. We do have the option to increase the number of homes you can set. Initially, it's going to be set to 1. We'll see how people get on with that, and then we can raise it if we need to. I think that pretty much covers off Arc homes.
Yeah. So we've 2 things left for Arc then. So the first one is a bit quick. We've also been doing some background cleanup, cleaning up some traps around the place, and we're ready to fit in with the new 1 supporter pack system we're doing as from 3 days time, isn't it? And then the last thing for Arc today, controversial maybe, but cave dino taming. We found earlier on that some people have got hold of tamed cave dinos. There's more than one type. Some people have been breeding the crap out of them. It's not good. It's a bug. It's going to be treated as an exploit. If you have got cave caught higher level dinos than you should have, I would like you to come to one of the admins and hand them in. You're not supposed to have them. You're especially not supposed to be breeding them. Most people who are in that position know that too. We spend a hell of a lot of time going through and finding this sort of stuff. As I mentioned earlier, yesterday I didn't eat. There is that much stuff going on the server at the moment, and stuff we're developing in the background, as well as answering tickets and help questions, helping new players, all sorts of stuff going on. Today I've shoveled my dinner down my throat with 20 minutes to spare for the roundtable. It's not good. Exactly, yes, that's how many hours go into pretty much looking after 3 games across, what, 12, 30, 40, 50, about 16 servers now for different games. So,
and it's the same for both of us.
yeah,
It's not.
it is, and we've got the oranges running crazy as well, doing stuff, helping people. It gets slightly unfair when people are boundlessly breaking the rules, know they're breaking the rules, and we have to spend time going and hunting that stuff down. It's not fair. It really isn't. We had Eco quit the community a couple of weeks ago. Very, very similar circumstances. You just lose track of your time. It eats everything you own, and then you start to ask yourself why you do it. So, cave dinos, hand them in, please. If you've got them, we're making it official now. They're not allowed. It's not okay. To breed them is definitely not okay. To give them out after you've bred them, you're taking the piss, and that's about it. So after today, tomorrow, what should we do? Should we say a couple of days, 2-3 days, hand them in? If we find any else out there, and if we find them breeding, we'll just kill them on the spot, and it'll be a ban. Done.
Yeah, we essentially have a race on the new maps to see who can knock out the alpha boss first.
Yeah.
They end up having their tribe, the tames they used, and the boss set up in what we call the Hall of Heroes that's on Ragnarok. Sandy has made some exceptional dioramas in there using dermises and all sorts. It is absolutely gorgeous. You'll also find all the supporters' names on the walls in the Hall of Heroes. It's like a massive meeting hall with tables and bosses and trappings and dioramas all around the outside. And we there's a lot of kudos behind that, being the first tribe to officially beat the map. That also then triggers the unlock of the map to be able to transfer in other tames and stuff like that, and bring in materials from other maps. So it's a big thing for us, and very competitive. Wait, stop, DJ.
Just while we're at it, yes, it was you I spoke to, wasn't it, Waggy? Was it the walls? And yes, you were absolutely perfect. I get that some players don't realise. I totally get that, and I know that we've had a lot of new players because Arc's been on pretty much free, hasn't it? And totally understood.
Sorry, yes. To just sorry to cut in there.
Sure.
Sorry to clarify that it was the shop that opens up when that happens. The map itself opens up when we go official, exactly like we did with Lost Island. Sorry, but yes, it is very competitive. You know, we'll immortalize you. People want to be the first to do it. People want to show off their tames and their breeds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and we were discussing as well, given the current situation. Jesus, I'm going to beat you in a minute. Honestly, it's everything we're saying you're being negative about. It's not fun, and people have already beaten the beta boss. We've set out how we want to address the issues we have on the server and why there are issues. You continue like that, I'll just beat you out the community. You either accept what we're telling you on face value, or you continue to argue and you leave. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, people have already beaten the beta boss. We've seen some dermises out on display. It's looking good. So I'm curious to see who'll get there first. The bit that I was going to say was, given recent events and the fact that there are some loopholes in the dino taming limits on this map at the moment, and yes, Wildcard are aware of them, and I don't know what they're doing to fix it, but they are aware. We would like the alpha boss kill on video if possible, and we'd like to see the tames that go into it. So your ancestry, just to make sure that they don't come from cave breadline. Sorry to have to ask for that, but you know, happens.
When Desmondus is on the shop, have them sold at level 225 instead of 224 due to possibility. What do you mean?
Yes, max perfect tame is actually 225, but you can never get 100% tame because you have to. It always comes out at 99%. But with a Desmodus, you can.
Okay.
Because you just got to feed it right. No, it's fine, Dravros. Yeah, there's no reason why we can't do that.
I've got no problem with that. That's a quick change. That can be done.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What I was really interested in actually was something that went up in Showcase earlier. Somebody's on like Generation 19 Wolves, and they've managed to breed out all the stats except for melee, which I was totally blew my mind. See if I can find the picture. And somebody will have to enlighten me about this. I've never had the patience to invest this amount of time, but I will just paste it into general now. That's some dedication there. That is why we don't want the cave tames to make it into mainstream on this server, because people put that kind of effort in.
Yeah. It is time consuming, and it's a labour of love to some people.
Yeah, and all that does is just kind of like stick two fingers up at them and go, So we'd rather not. But yeah, so okay, so I think that just about covers Ark. We'll do some more questions at the end, but like we've been a little bit sidetracked along the way.
It almost covers Ark.
So
almost
covers Ark. Almost. What's next? What's next?
So before we go, what's next? Just one last time, hand them in. Absolutely no animosity. We'll take them from you. End of story. Please, please do not let us come after them, because you're not going to like the outcome. So, cool news then. Bit of last minute Ark stuff. Docks. Docks hardest, I believe, is almost done now. So we'll be looking to get this delivered. See, DJ's put himself in a box here. He said, we will be looking to get this delivered. Hard for you hardcore sadists out there on Friday.
Yeah.
You were warned. Turn back. It is a
Yeah.
trap. Save yourselves. Please.
So the way the docs cluster is going to work is, yes, they're going to be clustered. Hardest will be going up on Friday on the center. And you will be able to transfer from easy docs to hard docs. No items, no tames, nothing in your inventory. Yes, center docs. Timmery, if you're listening, connect through the in-game favorites.
Yeah. So there's a nice link for you. Follow that through. Add them to your favorites. That's a cool picture, Sandy. And yes, do make sure you've got the mods pre-installed and set up before you try to connect. We have some really nice renders sitting there, actually. We might share some of those.
We have whitelisted all supporters on the ARC cluster, so that shouldn't be a problem for you.
Yes, little known perk there that was added recently. If you are a supporter, no matter what rank of supporter, a tier 3 is literally the price of a coffee. You will be whitelisted to all the servers for that month that you have your supporter pack, and you will skip the queues. Cool. I'm going to move on. We'll take more questions at the end. So, 7 Days to Die. What have we been doing with 7 Days to Die this week? So, been doing a lot of investigation into the Steam timeout errors we've been getting. It's a pain in the backside and I'm losing hair. We've tried things up to and including removing all the firewalls, and it's still ongoing. If the server is down and you can't get on, please ticket it. We will sort it out almost immediately. I'm hoping a new version of the game server, when they bring the next one out, is going to fix this, but there doesn't seem to be much we can do about it. It's nothing to do with connectivity, it's nothing to do with ports. We've changed the ranges of the ports. It's just totally bizarre.
It's basically since the last update to 7 days that they went live with. When the server restarts, it can't connect to Steam.
Yeah, it's totally intermittent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So it's something we're struggling with at the moment.
So yeah, tickets if you can't reach the server. Again, as I said with ARC, some background stuff and cleanup has been done too, because Monday we go to the new tier system. But that's all been sorted out as well. The big thing now, what's going to excite Warfare and Tula and Chris, we voted on wiping the supporter server. It was pretty overwhelming. I think there was one down vote and everything else upvoted. And we polled every single one of the supporters. I think we got replies from everybody. So we're going to wipe that. The new pack has been decided. We're going to put War of the Walkers onto that server. It's been quite a mad week though, and it's going to be a mad weekend because we've got lots of stuff going through, loads of new stuff, changes. So I make a promise right now to my absolute badass bunch of zombie killers. I will get it done ASAP. I know about it now. It's not going to be that difficult. Hopefully we'll get that done by the end of the week as well. I'm on it. So
I'm really looking forward to Walking Dead theme 7 days. Woo!
War of the Walkers is different. It's kind of cool. It is kind of Walking Dead. It's aimed at that exactly.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
You can recruit NPC helpers in this version, so you can have a little helper following you around, or multiple little helpers helping you to fight and do various different things. It's another total overhaul, completely different to Darkness Falls. So again, while the offer's on, it's one of the pop-up supporter servers. You need a pack to get in. Grab your packs while they're cheap, and let's kill some zombies. Rust, what have we got for Rust then? So we've checked all the config. I'm awaiting one last meeting with Cube, and we need to test the wipe schedule, make sure it works as we expect it to. The last thing I want to do is launch it and then find out one of the wipes screws up and everybody gets to keep the blueprints and all sorts of weird stuff happens. So one last thing is to check the wiping. There are actually now a few people having a kick about on the server. Get a feel for it. Had some really, really kind words back from a few players now. For any of you who do fancy taking a look at Rust, feel free. The server is up. You just have to tick the show empty servers, search for WNG under the modded section, and we can put some IPs up, or I think it's just Rust 1. But you can search for it on the in-game browser. Yeah, rust1.wngplay.com, port 27015, or you can literally just enter Rust, go to join server, click on the modded section, type in WNG in the search box, and tick show empty servers just in case there is nobody on yet, because obviously it's not officially launched, and go have a kick around. See what you think.
The way, I'll just quickly go into the way the Rust kind of gameplay cycle works.
Sure.
Rust is very fast moving. So it actually, what's our wipe schedule? The soft wipes?
So the soft wipes are going to be happening every 7 days, and they'll be happening 7 p.m. Thursday, because the main monthly wipe that's forced is also on a Thursday around that time.
So with Rust, it is a PvP game, PvP only, but it has many PvE elements to it as well. You go in, you start building, and you unlock blueprints as you craft items and use your resources to learn those blueprints. Then after 7 days, the entire map wipes, and you start again, but you get to keep your blueprints. Then at the end of the month, that's when the whole thing gets wiped. So it's kind of like a month-long competitive game, which you maybe use the first couple of weeks to get enough blueprints together to build the really cool stuff. And then you use the last couple of weeks to really take it to your fellow players and show them what you've been learning over the first couple of weeks.
Totally. So Rust is all about gathering scrap. Obviously, the theme of the game is nuclear war, and scrap is the currency. So you spend your first week, you make a tiny little base, you gather a load of scrap, you buy some blueprints, you maybe, find a couple of things, but mostly you're buying blueprints. Week 2, you use those blueprints to make a few things. You get some guns together, you go and raid the POIs, you get some bigger guns, you blueprint those. The same thing goes for week 3, you're more advanced by this point, you can establish quicker, and it's all a race. The final week is basically last man standing, usual sort of Warzone situation where you go around the map and you raise everybody to the floor until you're victorious. But there is a forced wipe at the end of every month where the server just blanks. That's how Rust was designed and intended to run, and they push a patch officially at the first Thursday of every month. It's around 7 p.m. UK, and that just wipes everything. It's meant to be a short-term, month-long game. It's much fun.
So it's kind of, it's fast-paced, lots of fun, and with a big finale, and every month it clears it down. Obviously, we'll have, I believe we'll have leaderboards for it.
We will indeed have leaderboards for it.
Yeah, we'll have leaderboards, rankings, kill-to-death ratios, and stuff like that. You can download a mobile app as well so that you can monitor your base and stuff like that. So if somebody does attack you, you'll know about it straight away. It's a whole bunch of fun. I'm very specific about what kind of PvP I like to play, but I do quite enjoy that one.
It's all good fun.
I'm not normally a PvP person. I like a bit of Warzone, and I like a bit of kind of EVE Online, but typically I don't go for PvP much. But trying Rust, it looks gorgeous, it plays well, there's so much to do and explore, and it's just a good laugh, especially if you get your mates into it as well.
Yeah, it's one of those games you can just have an absolute riot on, or you get pounded into dust, and yeah, you get better, put it that way.
Yeah, you've got Yeah, I think everybody gets unnecessarily angry with PvP, but that's part of the fun. It's going to be a venue for people to blow off steam, and we will have a separate chat area for it, and that will be managed and moderated differently to the rest of the channels.
Yeah, there's the one thing I do want to point out because a few people have raised it. Yes, Rust does bring toxic gamers. However, that's for the Rust server, and I'll make that clear really, really, really early. You leave your garbage on the server. When you come to Discord, I'm expecting people to behave like normal human beings, and if they don't, they won't be on Discord. They can stick to Rust.
Yeah.
I really like our community, and I really like how people are getting and how it's growing and developing, and that isn't going to be touched. I think cross chat in general, when we get going, is probably a bad thing for Rust. We don't want it. It will be turned off. Cool. So we'll go through the party notes thing. I wanted to end on a high note this week. And then if there's any last questions, we'll go for those. So my positive notes on the party notes this week. We had some arguments the past few weeks over base locations, over people generally getting a bit snippy in chat because we had a population explosion. Yes, we had to stamp down hard on a few people, but it seems to be working. I've noticed 2 or 3 incidents over the past week where things could have got a little bit toxic, but people stepped back and they took stock and they talked to each other and things got sorted really nicely. So thank you for that. Really, really pleased. That's exactly how we deal with things here. Everybody is here to have fun, and if you have a problem, again, say it one last time, just make a ticket. I've handled several tickets over the past week and spoke to some really nice people who've been really calm-headed, and they knew what they wanted. They weren't being idiots. Absolute pleasure to deal with, and we'll do it all day, every day if we have to. Just keep it cool, and everybody's happy. So thank you. So any last questions or gifts, or that's just abnormal quick?
Yeah, question times. Go for it.
You have 3. What quick? What do you have? Same time next week. Same back channel, yeah. The chests.
No. I can answer that one for you. No.
Not yet. No.
When a game first comes out, how do people find things in that game? They play the game, or they data mine it.
Exploration, Reddit posts, YouTube.
Yeah.
I wondered who that was behind me. You don't need to stalk Nani, you've got Nugget. It's like a human machine. I bet she does as well. I've seen the dungeon.
No, they're not allowed to make blueprints. Because we have chests full of blueprints just lying around for you to pick up.
And they're sharks, and they do not have master degrees.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of chests lying around with saddle blueprints in. There's a whole bunch of glowing kind of otherworldly triangle pyramid things floating in some caves with like weapons in. And then these things that just seem to fall down from the sky that have all other sorts of random shit in them. So I think we're pretty much covered there for loot.
Exactly. Megalodons without forklift shirts. Terrible. Or fish that make electronics.
What color drops Dino Dino saddle, blue or purple? A blue or purple Dino saddle. I don't know, but as a supporter, you can paint your dinosaur any color you want using paint by numbers. How awesome is that?
That's a Kraken's Better Dino thing, Quick. He had it enabled so that I believe it was Colanth produced electronics.
Yes. Dino saddles are from purple. So if you want primitive to apprentice, standard supply drops. Journeyman to ascendant, ringed supply drops.
There you go. Loot tables. It's
Wow,
all on the website.
it is all on the website, yes. I mean, I was just looking at the website to answer that. While I was answering that question, I was hoping I was looking intelligent. Yeah, don't tell people where the loot is. Actually, there's a page I have to edit on the website that is now incorrect.
Yes, that's a good point then, Nugget. The ring drops on Fjordra are slightly different and they kind of glow. They've got like hieroglyphs down the side of them and stuff. Lol. You know I actually have a 150 Dino saddle, right?
Yeah, he got the BP there.
Yes. I got it from one of those cave drops.
See, now there's the commercialism that we need on the cluster. You've got the blueprint. He's got the dinos.
I'm willing to trade it for a 150 Rex saddle. Blueprint.
Oh, there you go.
We can trade for that. I'm quite happy. I'm not sure Sandy will be, but it's my blueprint. Sandy's like, no! I've got a dust catching now. What do I need element for? It's my one little dust catch is doing fine.
Oh, there's a biological disease spreading across Fjordur. It's killing off all gachas. Did you know? It's highly transmissible.
Gacha disease.
Yeah, gachitis.
Gachitis, yeah, totally.
You know, in when they had that disease in World of Warcraft that spread from person to person, infected the whole server.
Oh wow, I remember
Don't know if you
that.
ever remember that.
Was that the which one was that? Was that
Blood plague.
Yeah, I know, I'm just thinking which expansion it was. It was the one with it was Wrath of the Lich King, wasn't it? Where everybody was kept infecting everybody and everybody was dying. I'm sure it was Wrath.
No, it was early on. They actually used it later on to help model plague transmission vectors and patterns and stuff.
Yes, I remember that. That was terrible, that was. Funny, but terrible. Didn't affect me. I was a paladin. You could just bubble through that crap. After you'd infected a few more people, obviously. I'll think about it.
But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about releasing some sort of plague on Fjordur just to kill gachas.
I'll discuss it with my partner in crime, Sandy, and we'll get back to you on that deal.
Any more questions? I think we need to wrap up for this evening, seeing as we have now done an hour.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to upload this and process it.
Questions, suggestions. Oh, the suggestions bot is working, by the way. You now submit your suggestions in the dojos for each game, and the information on the commands to use are in the suggestions channel. Your suggestion will be approved or rejected before it appears for voting. And I have one question as well. The only suggestion we've had since the new bot went in has been accepted, but I don't think we can actually do it.
I missed that. What was that?
To put those kind of cool timestamps in the world boss pin,
Ah, I see. Yeah.
so it shows your local times. But the problem is those timestamps are 1 point in time. So you can say Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
When you go past Thursday at 7 p.m., it then says 2 days ago or 3 days ago. They're not, you can't do recurring times with it
That makes sense.
unless somebody knows how. I don't.
Big brain people. Tell us.
Yeah, big brain people. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You'd have to update the embed every week, and I'm not doing that.
Answers on a postcard, then, Kira.
It may be fairly simple, and we could have a bot to do it, but it's time. The other option is I just put the reaction of the clock on the bottom, and everybody clicks on that. And it tells them what the time is in their local time.
Yeah, that works. We have
For
time.
example, yeah, Roundtable is at 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
If you click the little
Can't
clock.
if I spell. Didn't like that. Yeah, so you click the little clock, you'll get a PM from a bot to set up your time zone. And then whenever you click on the little clock, any time after that, it'll tell you, it'll translate the times in the post to your local times.
Hey, people looking now. Look, we've got two more people looking. Test out the clock.
Click on my big clock. Right, I've actually now run out of drink. So I think let's wrap this up, do the outro.
Yes, massive news on the next giveaway. It's going to be when server performance improves. We're calling it the Clear Up the Server giveaway event. Cool. So let's wrap this up then, because we were over an hour now. So all questions answered. Same time next week. Yes, too bad. We've got to go, Nugget. I'm afraid we've got to go. There might be some Phasmo in a bit. Who knows? I need coffee first.
Yes, server maintenance in the morning.
Yeah, 9 p.m. as usual. The faster everybody's off, the faster it comes down, the faster it goes back up. We have got a little bit of stuff to do tomorrow, but it shouldn't be huge.
A little bit.
We can handle it. It's all good. We're ninjas. We've got this. Cool. So I'm going to wrap it up. We have been the Wicked Ninjas. You have all been awesome as usual, apart from a few of you, and we'll deal with you later. Thank you, and see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Good night. Let's have a round of gifts to go out to. Yay. Goodbye. What happened to the shards? Did you miss that? Well, you can catch up on the video, which will be on YouTube in about 30 minutes. We're out. Good night, guys.